The Trump administration has been making some massive changes to the H-1B this year, and this video is your one-stop destination to find out about the latest changes that have happened. Pretty much everything that has happened this year, I'm going to be detailing it in this video. Believe it or not, I actually made this last night already, but then there were more changes in the last 24 hours, so I had to record this again. The changes just aren't stopping. But here's what's going on. Number one, biggest change, probably of the decade for the H-1B, is that now, if you want the H-1B, you need $100,000 of sponsorship from your employer. That's the fee that they have to pay the government. On top of your salary, they have to pay $100,000 to the government. Earlier, they said it's for everyone, renewals, first-timers, and we have the press release of them saying it on camera, but now they're saying it's just for the new cases. So people who want the H-1B now, you guys are the only ones who need to worry. The people who already have it, or now you seem to be secure, but let's see how it goes. Remember, this is not per annum, even though they said it previously. It's one-time fee when you apply for the H-1B. Every worker, the employer has to pay $100,000 for, so basically every time. The second one is restricted entry ban. Now this was a bit of a fuss, but I just want to clarify it. The Trump administration first said that this $100,000 applies to everyone. Whether you're a renewal case, first-timer, doesn't matter. If you are outside of the country, you need to come in very quickly before 21st of September. Otherwise, well, your company will have to pay these $100,000 and only then you can come in. So people canceled flights, they stopped going out, they exited flights. But now they're saying that, hey, this is only applicable to the people who are going to be applying in the next cycle. Now, clearly, when you're applying for the next cycle, your employer would already pay the $100,000 to be able to essentially apply for the H-1B itself. That means that this restricted entry or ban, that's not really applicable. You guys are free to travel if you have the H-1B. If you don't have the H-1B and you're waiting for one, well, next year your employer will apply for you, hopefully, and they'll pay $100,000. And then you can anyway travel after you get one. The third, and again, one of the biggest changes that happened just about 1.5 months ago, is that they changed the H-1B from a lottery-based system to a wage-based system. Now, the people with the higher wages will have the scales shifting in their favor. Very important news, because freshers will actually see the direct harm of it on their applications because they won't be able to get an H-1B because no employer wants to pay $100,000 just to sponsor a fresher at the end of the day, right? So it's going to be a bit of a problem for you guys, and you guys should already start looking into the O1 visa. In fact, everyone, whether you're even on the H-1B for the last 10 years, you should look at the O1 to stabilize yourself. And bonus, by the way, you can go onto YMGrad.com, send me your resume, and I'll give you a free eligibility check over there. For the O1, you might already qualify, and you can also do the same thing on WhatsApp. Otherwise, if you don't like to do that, just shoot us a message on WhatsApp, send us LinkedIn or resume. We'll let you know if you qualify because it's a much more stable visa. You don't need a lottery, no high wage required. It depends on what kind of talent you have, but if you satisfy the requirements of the O1, there's unlimited number of visas every single year. But I think you should really look into that to stabilize yourself because H-1B is just not stable. Two more changes over here. One is that now every single person needs to have a consular interview, and it's very important that you have the consular interview from your home country also. They've made it clear. Anytime you need an extension to the H-1B, or even the first time, you have to go back to your home country, get a consular interview. That means you can't just do a Dropbox like you used to previously. You can't just fingerprint and get the H-1B stamp. No, even if it's a renewal, you have to appear for the interview. The officer can check where you're working, what you're doing essentially. Are you really needed over there? Maybe you're doing a contractual job. So, and do you really have a high salary? What kind of taxes you're paying? All these things will be taken into account this time. Finally, number 5, this is not exactly official, but you know how there's a 60-day unemployment period where unfortunately, if you lose your job on the H-1B, you have to go ahead and find an employer in those 60 days. Otherwise, you have to leave. Well, in these 60 days itself, some people have started to get notices to appear, NTAs, where they're basically put in front of a judge and they already start deportation procedures. So as you can see, it just seems extremely unlikely that anyone at this point would want an H-1B, whether it's an employer, for them it's very costly, whether it's a candidate, because it's so shaky at this point, it seems almost as if people have stopped believing in the H-1B system. 1990 it started. For the last 30 years or so, it's worked extremely well. But now people are starting to wake up. They don't want the H-1B anymore. They want something more, something stable. And that's where the O1 comes in. That's where the EB1 comes in. That's where even the Trump Gold Card comes in for that matter. But again, if you don't have $1 million to just donate, well, then O1 and EB1 are your solution in that case. And again, like I said, you can get a free evaluation. I hope that you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share this with the people who need to know about all these changes because these are happening as we speak. And also you can follow me on Instagram. I have a lot more content over there, maybe in Hindi if you like. So make sure you do that. And thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and take care. Until the next one.